Hello classmates, today we will learn about the operation and maintenance of high-voltage load break switches in the context of outgoing feeder bay equipment. In this lesson, we need to master the concept, characteristics, classification, operational precautions, and inspection items of high-voltage load break switches. After learning, you should be capable of operating and inspecting high-voltage load break switches. At the same time, through this study, we aim to develop teamwork skills for inspection tours and cultivate safety awareness in accordance with rules and regulations. The key and difficult points of this lesson are the precautions and inspection items for high-voltage load break switches. Now, let's specifically learn the relevant knowledge about the operation and maintenance of high-voltage load break switches. A high-voltage load break switch is an electrical device whose functionality lies between a high-voltage circuit breaker and a high-voltage disconnector. High-voltage load break switches are often connected in series with high-voltage fuses and used in combination to control power transformers. High-voltage load break switches have a simple arc extinguishing device and a certain switching speed. They are mainly used to close, carry, and interrupt normal load currents and overload currents, and can withstand specified short-circuit currents, but cannot interrupt short-circuit current. In most cases, load break switches are used in combination with high-voltage fuses, relying on the fuses for short-circuit protection. Load break switches and combined electrical equipment are suitable for use in three-phase AC 10 kV, 50 Hz power systems, or in conjunction with complete distribution equipment, ring main units, and compact substations. They are widely used in renovation projects for distribution network construction, industrial and mining enterprises, high-rise buildings, and public facilities, etc. They can serve as ring network power supply or terminal units, playing a role in the distribution, control, and protection of electrical energy. There are many types of load break switches. Based on the usage environment, they can be divided into indoor and outdoor types. Based on the arc extinguishing form and medium, they can be divided into gas-producing, pressure gas, oil-immersed, vacuum, and SF6 types. For 10 kV high-voltage users, older users mostly use indoor pressure gas or gas-producing types, while new users using ring main units mostly use SF6 types. On 10 kV overhead lines, the outdoor type is used. Next, we will learn the precautions for the inspection content of high-voltage switches. But before that, let's watch a video of the actual opening and closing operation of a vacuum load break switch to better understand the inspection content and precaution.
High voltage cabinet load break switch switching on and power off operation process. Before operation, please read the operating precautions on the switch panel carefully. Step 1. Check for any foreign objects inside the cabinet and close the cabinet door properly. Step 2. Insert the operating handle into the earth switch operation hole, rotate clockwise to open the earth switch, and check if it is fully open. Then remove the operating handle. Step 3. Insert the operating handle into the load break switch operation hole, and rotate clockwise to close the load break switch. Closing is successful. The power on process is complete. Power off process. Step 1. Press the manual trip button to trip the switch. Step 2. Rotate counterclockwise to close the earth switch, then the cabinet door can be opened. The power off process is complete.
From the previous video, everyone can understand how a load break switch performs opening and closing operations. So, what are the contents of the operational inspection for a load break switch? Let's take a look together. 1. During operation, the load break switch should have no abnormal sounds, such as discharge sounds or excessive vibration noises. 2. During operation, the load break switch should have no abnormal odors. If there is a smell of insulating paint or plastic casing, it indicates that the connected bus bar near the connection point is overheating. 3. Connection points should show no corrosion, overheating, or deformation. 4. In the closed position, contact should be good, the switching depth should be appropriate, and there should be no side striking. In the open position, the separation vertical distance should meet the requirements. 5. The components of the transmission mechanism and operating mechanism should be complete. Connecting parts should be tight, and the open-close indication of the operating mechanism should match the actual status of the load break switch. Regarding the maintenance of load break switches, we need to pay attention to the following. 1. Check if the operating mechanism is stuck, whether the three-phase contacts make contact simultaneously during closing, and if there is any center deviation. The main contact of the load break switch should have good contact, with no contact overheating. During safe opening, the opening angle of the switch blade should be greater than 58 degrees to achieve reliable isolation. There should be a clear breaking point when open. 2. Load break switches should be installed vertically. During operation, the opening acceleration spring must not be removed. Before putting into operation, insulators should be wiped clean and checked for external damage, defects, flashover traces, and whether the insulation is good. 3. Regularly check the integrity of the arc extinguishing device. After a certain number of operations, the arc extinguishing chamber of the device will gradually deteriorate, reducing its arc extinguishing ability or even rendering it unable to extinguish arcs. If not discovered and replaced in time, it can seriously cause grounding or phase-to-phase short-circuit accidents. Therefore, it is necessary to regularly power off, check the integrity of the arc extinguishing chamber, and perform maintenance. 4. For oil-immersed load break switches, check the oil level and add oil in time when lacking to prevent explosion during operation. 5. When used in combination with high-voltage fuses, choose appropriate fuses. 6. Check and tighten fasteners to prevent loosening after multiple operations. The operation of load break switches is generally relatively complex. During operation, ensure the transmission components are in good condition, prevent rust, and regularly check for loose bolts. Classmates, in this lesson, we learned about the function and classification of high-voltage load break switches, and based on this knowledge, we learned the precautions and inspection items for actually operating them. I hope that through this study, everyone can further improve their safety awareness during inspections, teamwork skills, and strictly adhering to operating regulations and procedures. Finally, please complete the following exercises. That's all for this lesson. Thank you, everyone.